Good morning, it's the 9th of September 2025. There's a view I didn't get the other day of Sharrow Mills and Sharrow Mills mill pond there, which you can see just in the car park of this kind of apartment block behind me. I'm actually on my way to Cemetery Road, the General Cemetery, this morning. So this morning, the sun is shining, I decided to do a bit of a walk around the General Cemetery. Now I know I've already covered this, or some of it, in my Porter Valley series. Had a walk around that over a couple of episodes, but I haven't walked around all of it. So this morning, let's just do a tour of this actually quite amazing and atmospheric place. Now, I've always thought that this would be a great location for an old Hammer horror movie. I can just see Christopher Lee in the shadows there, and there's something coming out of a grave or something. It is so atmospheric. I have walked through this at night, as I think I said when I was filming here before, and I thought it was very scary at night. Now, it's still quite a big place, this, although not nearly as big as it was quite a few decades ago. It was bigger and they cleared parts of it, and it's less overgrown than it was when I first explored here. I first came here in the late 70s and it was an absolute jungle, more so than this. But this is what I mean by how kind of cinematic it is down here. You've got all these shadows and trees and graves. Oh, it's an amazing location. You've got all these wonderful kind of designs of epitaphs and gravestones and things. It's just amazing. Time actually does seem to stand still here. What an excellent way to start a Tuesday morning. A graveyard wonder. The demon drink. Indeed. Quite early in the morning, so the sun's quite low, so I've got some long shadows, which I think makes it even more cinematic. Now, I don't know where this footpath goes. Actually, I think it goes back down to the main route through, but there's all these fascinating little paths that go off. Then you've got these kind of Egyptian looking walls, or entrances through walls. Just got that Egyptian tomb flavour. Oh, I've got to make a movie here. Well, I am, but you know what I mean. A Hollywood blockbuster. Now, I did walk up to this in a previous episode of the River series. It's such a powerful building, that. I love the Egyptian theme doorway. That is so overpowering. This is the far end of the cemetery, near where that old chapel type place is that I just showed you. You know, I don't think I've walked around this bit. Originally, this was one of these footpaths, I think, that was so overgrown, you just didn't know it was here. So there's been quite a lot of clearance here. Although, those old moss-coloured gravestones, are they evocative or are they evocative? It's another of the original buildings that were part of the cemetery. I think this might be used as offices now. I'm not sure. But again, you've got those Egyptian themed window frames. So I don't know what that is used for. If I find out, I'll put some text up on the screen here. Right. So, which way to go? It's an absolute rabbit warren, ideal for yellow rabbit. Okay, that's a dead end there. Right, no pun intended, by the way. Dead end, oh dear. So I don't know what this is currently used for. Oh, wait a minute, Montague House. Used to be the cemetery main office. Now just here is one of the main entrances here. This is the one that goes out onto Cemetery Road itself. This would have been a very important entrance back in the day. Some quite low sunlight. Let's see if we can get it from the front. A very imposing entrance. I love the snakes. The end-to-end snake on the gates. Nether Edge Festival. 15th of September at the Samuel Worth Chapel. Is that the chapel I was filming near the other day, which has been renovated inside or not? Egyptian gate. The ouroboros, snakes eating their tails in the centre of each gate, represent continuity, eternity, rebirth, and the cycle of life. Now we're approaching the old church that has been derelict for decades and decades. It's completely sealed now, but you could get into it in the late 70s and early 80s, as I think I said in an episode of the Porter Valley, because I've been all the way up into the tower as a kind of urban explorer, and that was back in 1979, all the way to the top, absolutely right up to halfway up the spire. As you can see, there's a window there. I got above that as well. There used to be some kind of rope hanging down right from the very top, and I tell you, it's a lot higher than it looks from down here. But you can't get in anymore, which is probably a good thing, because it was definitely very unsafe. But hey, the things you do when you're 18. because this doorway here that's now completely blocked was once wide open. Lots of black magic and witchcraft symbols in there still, probably. I love locations like this because they just lend themselves to classic Hammer horror movies. Oh, did I see Peter Cushing over there? Boris Karloff? Christopher Lee, yes, we've already seen him. In his cape, with his teeth. He's down there in the trees. That would have been an awesome stained glass window at one point. Bit before my time though, it was completely trashed and derelict in the 70s when I came here. So we're on the cemetery road side of this graveyard. We'll continue exploring. It's been a long time since I've walked around here. So let's carry on into the depths. If you want to come down here, it's completely open, day and night as far as I know, although walking it at night, did it once, don't want to do that again. I definitely heard strange noises and there were, let's not go back there. So it's daylight for me. Of course, times have changed since the late 70s and early 80s. Maybe there aren't any local devil worshipping groups anymore, because there certainly were. I used to live at Nether Edge in the early 80s, and there was a lot of that sort of thing going on. I came down here one day and there were kind of voodoo type doll things hanging from tree branches back there near where that old church was, and they had people's names on them. So it had something of an occult reputation down here. But it was much more overgrown then as well. I don't think there was as many clear spaces there. There's been a lot of clearance. This is the opposite end of the cemetery. There's an entrance here which... where is this? I forget the name. This is near Napier Street, I think. Napier Street's down there where I was filming the Porter River last week. But I think all of this used to be occupied by the cemetery as well, and they cleared this. Just over there's a pub that closed down years ago. It was called The Vine, just the other side of those trees. Used to go in there quite a lot, but long gone, unfortunately. In fact, I may be doing a YouTube series on closed and either closed and forgotten or closed and demolished Sheffield pubs in the future, so I'll probably do something on The Vine. So walking along a path which is actually adjacent to the River Porter, which is on my right. This is kind of the north edge of the cemetery, and we're approaching an area that they call the catacombs, which is lots of sealed underground kind of private family vaults. And for those that had money back in the day, you could reserve one of these vaults. So you got more than just a gravestone under a tree, you got the full Monty. Porter's just down there. Yeah, just through those railings, there's the river down there. I did enjoy doing the Porter Valley Trail. If you haven't watched that series, I'll link to it on here. Check it out, because I follow the River Porter all the way from the site of Fulwood Corn Mills Travelled downstream through Forge Dam, Wiremill Dam, Shepherd Wheel, Encliffe Park, Sharrow Mills, and all the way to the train station. There's the river just down there. So yeah, back in the late 70s I took rolls of 35mm film at this place, and it was much more overgrown, particularly the middle section. You really had to fight your way through it. So they've cleared a lot of graves and a lot of the woodland part, but it's still got that atmosphere. Heading up now into another section of it. I can so remember getting lost down here. I came down here. I took a shortcut home from town to where I lived at Nether Edge. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, pitch black. Absolutely pitch black. I didn't have a torch or anything. And I was stumbling around these footpaths for ages. I appeared to be going around in circles. There was no traffic, I had nothing to sort of navigate by. And I came out the other end eventually, but oh, that was scary. Right, I think I've missed the catacombs. I think we need to go back down and a bit further to the west. Coming up on the catacombs, which we took a brief look at when I was here last. Can't walk along the middle layer, I think, because the gates are locked. But they are kind of spectacular. The Catacombs. What a great title for a scary movie. There probably is one, actually. People treat this place kind of like a park. There's dog walkers and joggers along here. Well, why not? Let's go up here. Can we get closer to the... Oh no, it's fenced off. Back in the 80s you could actually walk. You could walk through here. It wasn't gated off as far as I remember. Although they have been restored a bit, they were all kind of much more derelict and broken back in the day. The Catacombs. I'm not going to give you a potted history of it. If you're interested, just look it up on Google. There's lots of history about here. It's just part of a lost age. Gravestones at a kind of 45-degree angle. I don't know if they were like that originally or whether they've been resited. Don't very often see them like that though. Just wandering around a few footpaths I haven't done yet. You know, this definitely has shrunk a lot. I do remember it being much more spacious than this in the late 70s. So they have scaled it down. But what they haven't taken away is the atmosphere. Do you know, I'm half tempted to come back again one night. Although this camera I don't think is very good with night vision. That I don't think it'll just be dark, there'll be nothing there, but strange sounds. So we can't do that. I am thinking about getting a new camera. I'm just using this old Sony one for the time being. But with a gimbal, at least it's reasonably stable. Tell you what, let's just go back to my favourite part again. I think this is the most atmospheric part. I once wrote a film script based here in the early 80s. It was called Cemetery Road, and it was about these group of witches that used to meet here at night. And as you can tell, it's the perfect location for something like that. So, a brief tour around what is actually an amazing place. The General Cemetery. You can find it just off Cemetery Road near Nether Edge, not far from Ecclesall Road. You can access it also from Cemetery Avenue, which is off Ecclesall Road, and explore. Morning, squirrels. That's been converted to some kind of venue in there now. When I was here last time, there was a guy setting up some equipment in there, although he wouldn't let me film inside. So we're passing down this footpath and through this kind of Egyptian tomb-themed wall. And we're into another world on a Tuesday morning. So, Yellow Rabbit in the General Cemetery, off Cemetery Road and Cemetery Avenue, appropriately, in Sheffield, very close to the city centre actually. If you want to explore, the best place to park is actually Waitrose car park, which is free for 2 hours, and just walk up, it's less than 5 minutes.